Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of the NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we go racing here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for all three series here today in this episode with the truck series, of course, starting things off. The first truck race we've had since, the Daytona episode or something like that, or the Las Vegas episode. But we had a bit of a break from the truck series and we had, of course, Erik Jones full-time here in the 51 truck, and we're just kind of keeping tabs on him throughout the season to see how he does in this 51 truck. And he actually had a pretty decent qualifying effort here as he was starting P5 on the inside lane here in Atlanta Motor Speedway as they were underway for this truck series race. Jones, a bit of a subpar start to the season in the truck series. He's not competing for points in any other series except for the truck series this season now, as he was looking to, in reality, still be in a cup ride or even an Xfinity ride this season, but the most he could settle for, unfortunately, was a truck series ride now as he went down towards turn 3, running P3 at this point. But he left the door open there for the 23 truck of, I believe that is Brett Moffitt, that got up his inside, but he would actually be able to hold him off and get back up into that third position here after this first and opening lap. Then Erik would get to the inside of the 8 of John Hunter Nemechek as this race went on, and he would send it up the inside of him, pass him for second, and then run down the leader of the Canadian of Stuart Friesen here as the laps started to wind down a little bit. Erik got right to the back of Stuart Friesen as he came through out of turns 2, heading down this backstretch, putting on the pressure right on the back of Friesen here as he goes down towards turn 3, looking up the inside, but Friesen got a little bit defensive and would hold on to the lead, but then Jones would pounce to the outside within the next few laps here as he went down into turns 1 side by side for the lead with Friesen right on that right rear quarter panel, and it pulls Friesen back a little bit and propels Jones out front here in Atlanta in the late stages. He would drive away after this point here and just run away with the lead as we came straight to the final lap here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Erik Jones finally back out front here. He struggled in the Cup Series, but here he is out of turns 4. Erik Jones will get win number 1 on the season here in the Truck Series. There he is crossing the line for the victory over second place of Stuart Friesen. So very cool to see Erik Jones back in victory lane. He's proving himself. He should be in a cup car, of course, now, as you could very well maybe still see him in a cup car at some point in this career mode this season, I should say now, as we'll have to keep an eye out for that. But now it was time for the Xfinity Series as well here in Atlanta. I myself decided to actually get in the car for this one. I did Daytona as well as I'm doing clearly Atlanta, so my second Xfinity race of the season. And one of the reasons I chose to do Atlanta was this was the track, I think, where we got our first career Xfinity Series win in our rookie season. So we know we come to this track and we're going to have a lot of speed. When you can see it right off the bat, I qualified in P4. Michael Annett was on the pole, and we have Brandon Jones in P2. Brandon Jones returning to the 19 this season here in the Xfinity Series, and Erik Jones was kind of looking like he was going to get that 19 car, but Brandon Jones just ended up bringing more money to the table there and got that 19 car back here for this season, and he's going to do everything he can to prove his worth this season to potentially keep that ride for next season or maybe even move up to the Cup Series now, as you're going to really have to keep an eye on a specific driver in this JGR squad this season in the Xfinity Series, and that is Harrison Burton. Harrison Burton wants to make that move up into the Cup Series within the next season or so now, as we were battling for the lead here with Brandon Jones as these laps were going on now, as we were side by side for the lead down into turns 1. I'm using the outside. He's obviously on the bottom as we come through turns 1 and 2. I'm all the way up by the wall, nearly getting into the outside wall there on the exit of the corner, but we keep it out there side by side for the lead down the back straightaway here with Brandon Jones as we dive down into turn 3, but unfortunately not quite able to clear Jones through that corner there as I'm slipping and sliding through the center of the corner on the exit now of turns 4. But then you see me trying to side draft Brandon down the back straightaway now about a lap later, doing everything I can to get that front position, but unfortunately he would clear me right here, but we would battle right back to Brandon Jones' quarter panel, on the exit now of turns 4, side by side again here, down the front straightaway for the lead, but I got such a good run through turns 3 and 4 that it would just kind of carry me all the way down into turns 1 to that point where we had the momentum going into the corner. We were now ahead of Brandon Jones, not quite clear yet, but out of turns 2, we would clear Brandon Jones for the lead, and just kind of like Erik Jones ran away, well, we would run away with the lead here as we came through to the final lap here in Atlanta Motor Speedway. You see the lead, a huge lead over second place of Brandon Jones now as we come through out of turns 4 for the final time. We are going to get the win here in Atlanta in the Xfinity Series. cannot complain. What a race it was for us. Some good racing for that lead with Brandon Jones. It was actually JGR 1-2-3, so Joe Gibbs Racing in general looking strong this weekend so far. And obviously now we will head over to the Cup Series as you see the rest of the finishing order on your screen. Cesar Barrichello, or I think that's how you say Barrichello, down there in the last position there, as the team is 8th in points currently. Obviously no consistent driver in this car for the season between myself, Jones, and then a few select other drivers. But now we come through to Atlanta Motor Speedway again here for the NASCAR Cup Series. The DeWalt car, DeWalt paint scheme back on the car, but a little bit different. It was like that Real Heroes paint scheme that we were running this time out here. Now as we come to start our qualifying lap here in Atlanta. So the goal right now was a 29.224, hoping that I could live up to that there, but I was dealing with a lot of loose handling car. It was very loose now, to say the least, as I went down into turns 3 and turns 4 for this qualifying attempt. You can see me just chasing the car all around now as we come through out of turns 4 down the front straightaway. We will cross the line, not meeting our goal, way off the goal at 29.9, and we go P25 here for Atlanta, so not a good qualifying effort at all. We will definitely have our work cut out for us now, as you see Joey Gase down there in P40, Austin Dillon P31, Bobby Carter P35. But there you see Jimmy Johnson, his final trip to this racetrack will start in P19. And on pole, we got Denny Hamlin, Keselowski up in second, William Byron even up there in third. As you see Atlanta Motor Speedway here as we're ready to get going. There you see the Henry County Airport just outside of the Atlanta Motor Speedway now, as we do one little flyover with the drone here. Thanks again to Microsoft Flight Simulator to being incorporated in this video now. As you see, just kind of the overlook. There are a lot of trees around here now, as you see what we're getting ready to go green now for the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Clint Boyer looking a little bit cold coming into this race, so he might very well be in for one of those long struggles here in the mile and a half now, as we get ready to go green here from P25 in Atlanta Motor Speedway. Cole Custer just in front of myself now as the green flag is out, and we are underway here in Atlanta. Last time out at Phoenix Raceway, we came home with a solid top 10 finish, which was a bit of a surprise to myself. Now as we go down towards turns 1, so far it's been a bit of an up and down start to the season. A very good finish in Daytona, a rough finish in Las Vegas, as well as Auto Club, but we rebounded last episode with the top 10, like I said, at Phoenix Raceway. Now as we're going down this back straightaway, being aggressive right off the bat, going 3 wide as we dive down into turns 3 there. We were up the inside of the 96 of Daniel Suarez. Now as we get up the inside of Ty Dillon as well on the exit of turns 4, making a 3 wide with Dillon and a fellow rookie of Tyler Reddick as we come through, crossing the line here for P20 as we dive down towards turns 1. Hamlin out front now, but he's actually moving all the way to the top lane, and he's about to give the lead away to Chase Elliott there in that number 9 car now as we come through out of turns 2, right on the back of Chris Buescher as they get up the inside of him, giving him a little bit of a side draft there right on that quarter panel as we dive down into turns 3. Jimmy Johnson electing to take the outside there. I would get past him, as well as we would get to the inside of Ryan Blaney for P16, but we kind of settled in right here for a few laps here in about this P16 area now as I went down towards turn 3, and then sure enough Johnson actually got past Ryan Blaney. We come through now on lap 6, and finally we're starting to make some ground up. I passed Bowman, and we just kind of follow Kurt Busch through this little group of cars right here. We're now up to P13 on the next lap of lap 7 there, up the inside of De Benedetto, as well as Kevin Harvick. There you see Eric Almirola on the outside of Kurt Busch, and I just continue to follow that one car through this little group. And now we're all the way up into P11 here, as I definitely was confident we had a lot more speed in the car, considering we qualified 25th. Wasn't a great qualifying effort. Now as we get up the inside of Kurt Busch here with 18 laps to go in stage 1, and we're going to dive up the inside into turns 1. He hangs on pretty well, but on the exit of the corner, we were able to get in front of Kurt and take over that top 10 position from that Chip Ganassi Racing driver. Then sure enough, we would run down Matt Kenseth. We had a bit of a run-in with him a few races ago at Las Vegas, but we would get up the inside of Kenseth and pass him with ease as well, and now we would take over the 9th position here in Atlanta Motor Speedway in the Folds of Honor Quick Trip 500. So definitely doing a very good job working our way through the field here in these opening laps. Kenseth did try to fight back here down towards turns 1, but he really did not have much for me, to say the least, here as we would clear him for P9. But now we were starting to look into green flag pit stops already. On lap 12, Keselowski, he decides he's going to come in and pit. Then Christopher Bell, Joey Logano, they're coming into the pit lane. My Tire Icon would come on here on lap 14. So 12 laps to go still here in the stage, and we are already coming into the pit lane here now. As I could have probably went another lap, maybe two, but I saw everybody else was pitting that had already not pitted, so I come in. Jimmy Johnson actually stayed out there. A few drivers did stay out, like Denny Hamlin and Jimmy Johnson and whatnot, but we would put 4 tires on the car. Very, very easy call to make, and very nice to get some green flag pit stops here, of course, in Atlanta. Now, as it's going to be about a 15-second stop, 15.1 to be exact. Now, as we actually gain some time because we passed Chase Elliott on the pit lane, as well as get in right behind Kyle Busch now as we come through. Elliott trying to actually get past me. Jimmy Johnson actually is the leader, so maybe Denny Hamlin did come to the pit lane now as we come through out of turns 2. Looks like Johnson will likely pit this time now as he exit turns 2, getting right to the back of our teammate Kyle Busch, but then the caution comes out now, and there you see only 4 cars on the lead lap, but the problem is 2nd through 4th are not pitting, which means that is going to trap 5th place or 6th place on back a lap down, because Martin Truex Jr. will get the lucky dog, but all of a sudden the whole race has been completely changed from a very poorly timed caution. There you see on the screen, Truex got the free pass. Jimmy Johnson was leading. He pitted, still maintains the lead lap position. So all of a sudden, it's now a battle for the lucky dog, and we have to be like P6 or something like that to get the lucky dog. Definitely not what we expected to see here, as if it would have stayed green another lap or two, this would not have happened, but a very unfortunate situation. Obviously, now I'm looking like a fool for not staying out with Jimmy Johnson, but Jimmy Johnson and kind of Bubba Wallace up here, Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, all those drivers making an incredible call to stay out now as we go down towards turn 3. We have to be aggressive here and get on that lucky dog position. We want to be in the lead lap here as quickly as possible, but surprisingly Kyle Busch decides to get very aggressive, go around the far outside, and I realize right there he's now the lucky dog, so we really have to get going there. As I was trying to focus on passing William Byron, but Kyle Busch took everybody to school there as Denny Hamlin's driving away at this point, trying to get the stage victory. We're up the inside now of Jimmy Johnson. We're in 2nd place in the lucky dog race right now. There's 2 races happening, Hamlin for the stage victory, and then Kyle Busch, myself, for that lucky dog as we dive down into turns 3. Bubba Wallace up here having a great run right now as well, but we would get past him, and unfortunately I left the door open for Christopher Bell, and he would blow my doors off. He drove right on past me into turns 1. I realized pretty quickly that I was not going to win this lucky dog race right here, and we were going to have to focus now on that 2nd stage, because Chase Elliott as well gets up my inside, and I had once again absolutely nothing for him like it did for Christopher Bell. Even Jimmy Johnson was able to get past me. Elliott, he passed Christopher Bell, and now he was trying to run down Kyle Busch, but it looked like Kyle Busch was going to be able to hang on, because this was now the final lap of stage 1 at this point. So we were 3rd in the lucky dog race right here on the final lap of stage 1. Denny Hamlin cruising to the stage 1 victory, but one caution at just one little bad time completely changes this race already, and we're only in the 1st stage. So Denny Hamlin wins stage 1. Kyle Busch wins the lucky dog race. He will be back on the lead lap, and now we cross the line for a 9th place finish in stage 1. So considering the situation, we're a lap down and we still got stage points. Cannot complain about that part at least, but obviously we want to be on that lead lap. Jimmy Johnson, a clutch call. He was not even in the top 10 when the pit cycle started, and here he is getting 2nd now here in stage 1. Kyle Busch, there you see, gets that lucky dog. And I thought about taking the wave around, but I looked at the tire wear, and I was like, yeah, it's not going to work. So I put 2 cans of fuel in the car, 4 tires, and we will restart in the 9th position here on the outside of Chase Elliott now, as we are underway once again here in Atlanta Motor Speedway. Definitely concerned, of course, at this point now, because I'm thinking, are we going to get a caution? And if we get a caution, am I going to be in the lucky dog position? We have to be on it here in the 2nd stage now, as you see the race for the lucky dog. Christopher Bell, Chase Elliott, myself, William Byron, Joey Logano, all of us here together going for that lucky dog spot here as we go down the back straightaway now, as Denny Hamlin leads away towards turn 3. Bubba Wallace, Jimmy Johnson side by side for that 2nd position now as we come through turn 3. Bell going all the way up to the top now, kind of like Jimmy Johnson is doing as well, as we come through out of turns 4. You saw a few other drivers going to the far outside, like Eric Almirola, and I believe that was Ricky Stenhouse or something like that, or Chris Buescher. Now as we go down towards turns 1 now. Bell getting very aggressive, going 3 wide up the inside of Bubba Wallace and Martin Truex Jr. Bell being an affiliate teammate, of course, to our team here as we go down the back straightaway towards turns 3 on the outside of Bubba Wallace. Unfortunately, I couldn't clear Bubba into turn 3, and I thought I would, so then I actually get into a side-by-side battle with him for multiple laps here in Atlanta as we cross the line, trying to get him clear, but I just couldn't clear him. So come through on lap 3, and instead of me clearing him, he clears me. I have to get out of the throttle there as I nearly run into the back of him and turn him. I think I actually did hit him, but I get stuck on the outside, and now the 24 is going to go by, and everybody is going to have a chance to pass me here on the inside lane. Keselowski to my inside now, as well as we come through turns 3, and we're actually going to go maybe 3 wide here as we exit turns 4. Newman on my inside, a little bit of contact there with the 43 of Bubba Wallace. Now as we're 3 wide in the middle between Newman and Bubba as we dive down into turns 1, now down into the 10th position and 11th as Chase Elliott is as well going to get to my inside now. Is everything going wrong here? And only 4 laps in to the second stage, we drop down to P13 as well after getting passed by Joey Logano, but we were trying to rally our way back forwards now, getting to the inside of Keselowski after this whole little train of cars here. I was able to get to the inside of him, then I pounced on an opportunity, get to the inside of Chase Elliott and pass him, as well as we get up the inside of Ryan Newman and pass him for that 10th spot now as we come through out of turns 4. But then Chase Elliott going to get aggressive himself and make it 3 wide on the outside here with myself and Ryan Newman as we dive down towards turns 1. Elliott with a very good move, and he actually gets himself back out in front of me, and it wasn't until lap 11 where I actually had a chance to pass Elliott back. Now as we came through turn 3, we pass Elliott, get up the inside of Logano, but I'm slipping and sliding there, hanging on. Now as we go down the front straightaway, the caution comes out again, but unfortunately we were nowhere near the lucky dog position at that time. Christopher Bell will now be back on the lead lap, and he has been showing some serious speed in this race, so he very well could be a contender now, but he will have to start at the back of the field here for this restart, as we would take 2 cans of fuel, 4 tires. Once again, would have loved to maybe take the wave around. Maybe I could have gotten away with the wave around there. And now as we get ready to go green here from P10 in stage 2. So far, this race has not quite gone our way now as the green flag is back out, and once again, we are underway. You see here, only, 9 laps to go or something like that in the stage, and like I said, I thought about taking the wave around here and maybe just hope we get to the stage finish and obviously stay on the lead lap because of that caution, but I saw the tire wear, and I knew that we were not going to be able to make it that far, considering what the right rear tire was at. So that would have been an awesome strategy to try and attempt, but unfortunately, it would not have worked considering the tire wear now as we come through turn 3, right behind William Byron. But once again, we're right back in that race for the lucky dog because William Byron is currently the lucky dog position. But if we pass him now as we go down the front stretch, we're going to make it 3 wide with him and the 7-time champion of Jimmy Johnson. As we dive down into turns 1, we are now back into the lucky dog position. It is Joe Gibbs Racing 1, 2, 3, and then I'm 4th in line by P8 now, and then it's all Hendrick Motorsports behind us. Chase Elliott, Jimmy Johnson, William Byron now. Byron in front of Johnson as I hit the apron very sideways. A huge save through turn 3 and turn 4, but I completely choke away the lucky dog position now as Elliott goes by Byron, Johnson, and now Keselowski is even going to get to my outside as we go down into turns 1 as I nearly lost the car, but made a big save keeping us in it now. But unfortunately, we have to work our way back through these cars now, trying to pass Jimmy Johnson here with a few laps to go in stage 2. We were in position to get the lucky dog. It was all about not making a mistake and just hanging on, and what do? I make a stupid mistake, and now we are not going to get that lucky dog from the looks of it here as we clear Jimmy Johnson out of turns 2. But now we came through to the final lap of the second stage now as we came through turns 1 and out of the second corner. Hamlin in first. Kyle was second. Martin Truex Jr. has drifted down into P3, but William Byron up there in front of us has good enough of a gap to where he will get the lucky dog here as we come through turn 3, right on the back of Chase Elliott. Going to get aggressive with him. We're going to sneak up the inside as we exit turns 4 side by side with the 9 of Elliott coming to the line. Contact. We get him into the wall there as we cross the line. P10 in stage 2 now as I definitely got a little bit too aggressive probably there with Chase Elliott now putting him in the wall just a little bit, but I was trying to side draft him extremely hard. Jimmy Johnson P4, Bubba Wallace P5 there in the second stage. Great efforts again for them now as we would have to pit again for 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires. So far, of course, disappointed with how this race is going, but we got one stage still where hopefully things can go our way. And I mean, even though this is not going our way, we've still gotten stage points in the first 2 stages as we would gain 1 spot on the pit lane, which now puts us in that lucky dog position once again in front of Chase Elliott. Now as the green flag is back out again, the third and final stage is officially underway here now, and it is 28 laps to go. Christopher Bell up here into P6 now as we dive down towards turns 1. Like I said, Bell has a lot of speed coming into this race, so I think we're going to have to watch out for him now that he is up here in the mix with the front group of drivers now is around the outside of John Hunter Nemechek. I believe John Hunter is indeed, yeah, he's on the lead lap. So he was a part of that, of course, strategy call in stage 1 to stay out a bit longer, and that, of course, worked for him. But we clear him into turn 3, so I go up the inside. Jimmy Johnson to Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin 3 wide, and now Jimmy Johnson is up into P2 as we complete the first and opening lap here of the third and final stage. And then we got Christopher Bell as well up in the mix. It looked like he climbed up into P3 there into turns 1 after passing both Kyle Busch as well as Denny Hamlin. Now as we go down this back straightaway, Jimmy Johnson up the inside of Truex now for the lead as we dive down towards turn 3. Johnson in his final race at Atlanta Motor Speedway is looking to get the victory now as we're up the inside of Kyle Busch. Now as we come through out of turns 2 on lap 56, now Bell is going to take Johnson and Truex 3 wide for the lead as we're side by side with our teammate of Denny Hamlin towards turn 3. Johnson kind of backs out of that 3 wide. Kyle Busch slips up my inside. We are still in the lucky dog position, so at this point just hoping we get a caution sooner rather than later, because we still got to work our way through the field and hope for a caution again after we do get a caution for hopefully the lucky dog. But then Kyle Busch took Johnson and Truex 3 wide for second place, and he would get up into that second spot and run down Christopher Bell, who's leading some laps here in Atlanta. Another rookie, of course, that we'll be battling with all season for Rookie of the Year. But I started to actually lose contact with that front pack of cars. Now we come to 22 to go. Joey Logano was starting to put the pressure on me. Then I actually run down Truex and Johnson once again here with just 19 laps to go as we dive down towards turns 1. But then the caution comes out, and finally we are in the lucky dog position, and we are going to be back on the lead lap. Of course, we're taking 2 cans of fuel, 4 tires. Christopher Bell actually lost the lead under that run. Kyle Busch would get it from him and was in position now to potentially get his first win of the season. Now, unfortunately, we do have the lucky dog, which is good, but unfortunately, we have to start at the tail end of the longest line. So we'll be starting here on the inside behind, I believe that is Timmy Hill now, as the green flag is up. So the only thing we can hope for is, of course, we're not going to run down that front group of cars before this race is over, but we can hope for a caution here within the final 15 laps. I would love a caution right now. I could just go in and turn Joey Gase if I wanted to, but obviously that's just not the way to do things now. As we come through, I would immediately jump up to that outside lane and just start making ground as quickly as I possibly could as we came through on lap 69. Nice there up the inside of the 8 of Daniel Hemrick, making it 3 wide with him and the 00 of Quinn Hoff. I think I just called the 8 Daniel Hemrick. That is Tyler Reddick. I mean, now as we would get up the inside of the 41 of Cole Custer as well and pass him, and we were coming through, just continuing to work our way through the pack. Now as we get to the back of Bobby Carter, who is just in the way. Can someone explain to me why this guy is even on the track? My goodness, dude, he is so slow. There you heard the radio transmission from myself. You can tell I was so thrilled with Bobby Carter there, but he would actually leave a lane open there through turns 1, and I would pass him there as we were closing in on Bubba Wallace here, and we would actually finally make a pass for position. I get right to the left side of him. The next spot ahead was Jimmy Johnson. He was 2.6 seconds ahead, so we passed Bubba down into turns 1 and actually climb up to P7 here. So somehow it is not over for us here in Atlanta. Now we come through with just 5 laps to go. Then we have a crash in front of us. Ryan Newman goes spinning into turns 1. I tag the wall there as the caution comes out, but this will put us in position to have a chance to actually get a fighting chance for a win if we play our cards right. This is going to be a 2-lap dash now here in Atlanta, but Newman crashing our savior right there, bringing out the caution now as we are about to get underway for 2 laps to go. This is in regulation. This is not overtime. It is still a 2-lap dash, though, in regulation. Denny Hamlin, Eric Jones on the front row there as you see Christopher Bell as we go down towards turns 1. So it's Christopher Bell there in that 3rd position, as it is so many Joe Gibbs Racing cars up here in the mix with just 2 laps to go. Myself, Martin Truex Jr., as well as it's actually JGR 1, 2, like 3, 5th and something like that. Now as we dive up the inside of William Byron, trying to make it 1, 2, 3, 4. I do consider the 95 as a JGR car, quote unquote, an affiliate at least now. As we exit turns 4 inside of William Byron, we're now up to P4 as we start the final lap. Denny Hamlin leads. Bell trying to put the pressure on him to get his first career win as we dive down into turns 1 on this final lap in Atlanta, trying to get to the inside of Kyle Busch. We do get to the inside there, nearly making contact with the 2-time champion as we exit turns 2 side by side. Behind us, Truex is trying to get P5 away from William Byron. As we dive down into turn 3, Hamlin protects that bottom over Christopher Bell, and it should be his now as we come through out of turns 4. We pass Kyle Busch for P3, but it's going to be Denny Hamlin winning for the first time this season in Atlanta. Bell and myself second, third, Kyle Busch fourth, Martin Truex Jr. fifth. So in reality, considering the 95 is an affiliate, it's a JGR 1 through 5th place here in Atlanta Motor Speedway. An incredible day for this team. What a weird race it was turned into with that caution, of course, in that first stage that put so many cars, including myself, a lap down here in Atlanta. But that good finish propels us up a few more spots in points. We're back up to P7. So Jimmy Johnson all the way up into P15. He's actually going to be in the playoffs now after that good finish. Now, as he was like 35th in the points a couple races ago, and now here he is up inside the playoffs. And that just shows you at the beginning of the season how quickly things can change in that points battle now, as we actually have some drivers who are all happy with us after that race. We got into a few people, but they didn't seem to care, of course. So we do have momentum going into the next one, and the next race is my favorite track to drive at, just in general, and not just NASCAR, but almost all of motorsports. I would have to put, actually put it top 3, because there's definitely some tracks in other motorsports I like to drive more than Homestead, Miami. But Homestead, definitely my favorite track on the NASCAR schedule. So I'm looking forward to that one very much. Hopefully we can get the win, but clearly so far the Cup Series proving to be much more difficult than the Trucks and the Xfinity Series, which we kind of expected. We tore up the Trucks and Xfinity Series. We had so many wins in our rookie season in both of those series. So unfortunate that we aren't doing the same here, but at the same time, it's kind of a good thing. And you see the playoff grid on your screen right now. So Ryan Blaney with 2 wins, of course, leads the way. We've already had half of JGR with wins now. Denny Hamlin as well as Martin Truex Jr. But there you see the playoff grid, like I said. And the last car in the playoffs currently is Jimmy Johnson here. Cole Custer is in the playoffs as well. So we have some rookies in the playoffs like myself and Christopher Bell, Cole Custer. Christopher Bell is 5 points out, along with Tyler Reddick. William Byron, 6 points out. So a lot of rookies in the area to make the playoffs right now here in the rookie season. So it's going to be an interesting season, I think. Still a long ways to go till we're at the playoff point. So as always, if you guys enjoyed this episode, you know what to do. One surprise, though, Kurt Busch once again struggled in Atlanta. He just had a lot of bad luck. It's not like he was slow, and he's still only 29th in the points, so he's got a lot of work to do, and so does Clint Boyer, who's 32nd. He's been having a rough start to the season as well, so they got some work to do, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.